Hey, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot and Astro Insights. And this is going to be a general collective message for whoever. And so I was sitting this morning in a lot of energies. I was guided to pull into the energies with my Alice in Wonderland Oracle deck by Lucy Cavendish. I haven't used this deck in a very long time. It's almost like a brand new deck that I used years ago at the beginning of the journey. And I was really called to sit with some of these energies. And so I'm going to share with you the 3 cards that came out. We're going to talk about these energies. We're going to talk about what came through on the bottom of the deck. And then we're going to dig deeper into this message for whoever. So please feel free to subscribe, like the video, comment on the video, and share the video, especially if you're resonating with the message. But let's get into it. I got the first card out was Believe. It is a 31 card, and it is speaking of strange encounters. I got the 43 card out, and so something here smells a little fishy, but I do feel this is asking you to manage to be glad. And so the bottom line is we are all capable of creating our own happiness regardless of our external conditions. And the final card out, the third and final card out, was a 44 card. And it's speaking of you can't go back to yesterday. Be in the present moment. And I know I've talked about the story of the eagle before. And so after about 40 years, an eagle will have to remove its beak, rip out all of its talons, and go through this very intense transformational renewal if they are to survive another 40 years. And then on the bottom of the deck, we got the falling card. It's a 4 card. And I did feel a very strong Emperor in reversed energy. And so this is all about shifting, going towards the right way, even correcting past misdeeds, and learning that we do create our life. So what is it that you desire to create? Because this is all about stepping into the unknown. This is all about the great descent. And so the energies had a certain bit of momentum to them when it comes to change. So let's talk about these energies, because I felt a very deep sense of 5 of Wands energy underlying with the Believe card. And so I journaled into these energies, and I feel there's almost like a refusal to accept some type of differences. And so this could mean that maybe you've encountered a new spiritual feeling or a new mystical spiritual energy around you. And there's almost like a little bit of skepticism when it comes to believing. And so maybe you don't believe in spirituality. Maybe you think that the whole mystical journey is a little bit unreal or untrue, or leaning a little bit towards fantasy. But I do feel this is like a refusal of believing. And maybe there's a need to accept differences between you and another in order for you to really go towards this new mystical existence. That's really what came through. And so you might have recently encountered a mystical event or a peculiar experience connected to mysticism or otherworldly dimensions here. But this is all about no longer denying the existence of mysticism and all of these otherworldly dimensions. And so this is all about shifting belief systems, right? And with these current energies, that's what we're doing. We're finding the mystical experiences just as real as our 3D existence, our everyday existence. And so there was an underlying 3 of Cups in reverse coming through with the second card that I pulled when it comes to creating your own happiness. And so this 3 of Cups in reverse energy, I feel, is like a toxic belief or a distorted belief that happiness might be easier for others, or so it seems, that others are more fortunate when it comes to being given blessings. And that maybe you feel like you missed out on. And let me tell you, blessings are hard earned for sure, without a doubt. And so when we believe that happiness is, not for us, that other people are just lucky and they get to be happy, we need to remember that happiness is not an act of fate. It's not an act of luck. It's not an act of fate. It is a disciplined way of living your life. Happiness is discipline when it comes to the way that you think, when it comes to the way that you behave, because ultimately happiness is a choice. When you choose to focus on sadness rather than happiness, then that is what's going to keep being recreated in your current reality. And so happiness is always going to be in your own hands. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but that was a very strong message. Happiness is always in your own hands. You can choose to wake up and be happy, or you can choose to wake up and be miserable every day. The choice is always going to be yours. And so happiness is something that you have to manage. It's something that you have to nurture. And it's something that you have to grow. It has to be a conscious effort to say, hey, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be happy today, regardless of what is going on in my external reality. And so this is all about growing the happiness that you desire in your life. And so don't let others steal your joy. Do not let others steal your joy. And do not let others imply that your happiness was not because of the hard work that you've put in to choose to be happy every day. Because let me tell you, happiness is hard earned. It definitely is. And that's from my own personal experience. And so we must find it. We must create it. We must sustain it amidst any challenges or any troubling times that we go through. Because let's face it, life is always going to be filled with challenges, hurdles, and obstacles. And so we get to choose how we are going to react amidst all of these challenges. When it comes to the 44 card, and it's speaking of you can't go back to yesterday, that's true, because really all we do have is the opportunity to be fully present in the moment. That is the future, is the present moment. And so if you find yourself living in the past, if you find yourself constantly speaking of past events, or musing over what was, then this too will hinder your happiness that you create in your day-to-day reality. And so I do feel this is all about understanding that we don't have to keep believing who we were, because sometimes who we were gets us to who we are in the present moment. And so we can live through the stories that we tell ourselves. We can live through the experiences that we currently are going through. But basically, when we allow our memories to override our present moment, then we don't have any anticipation of the future at all whatsoever. And then we're stuck in a state of almost like a Four of Cups energy of nostalgia. That's what I felt, a very strong Four of Cups energy with this card coming out. And so what I want to say to you all is you are more than your past. You are always going to be more than your past and the events that have shaped you to who you are in this present moment. And so you have evolved. You have evolved. You have changed. We all evolve. We all change. Hopefully, we all evolve. And so when we share our history, it's only to share who you once were. You're not that person anymore. Remember that, okay? Because when we shift, when we evolved, we're no longer that person. And so you might be being triggered with events or people from the past in these energies is what it felt like. But you're not your history. And so we all have the ability to share our past histories. But maybe you're quite different than you were in the past, right? So think about that, because instead of constantly reliving the past or sharing the past, we are being asked to venture forward, right? And so we really do kind of got to release the past. And so if we are to fully experience the present moment, this is about connecting with people, the people in your present life, right? Stop reliving the past. The past isn't here anymore. And so I do feel, yes, we can share who we were, but that isn't as powerful of an energy of sharing who we are becoming, right? Share who you are becoming. That is a more powerful manifestation energy to create the life that you truly want. And so accept that you have changed and stop looking back, because the bottom of the deck with the falling card is saying somebody here, maybe you, maybe somebody you're dealing with, is basically holding on to what is no longer best for them. Maybe you are holding on to what is no longer best for you. And so when we fear what comes next, we steal our joy. And so there is a fear of what is next, and maybe because there's an inability to surrender to the process of change, but change is inevitable. We are in a huge portal of change within the collective, and change is inevitable. So what you want to remain the same sometimes isn't always what's best for you. So change is taking place, that's for certain, in these energies. And so somebody here, I feel, is kind of in between when it comes to the ending of what once was, and the letting go of maybe who you were, so you can rebirth into this new life, into this new cycle. And so there is always going to be unknown variables. There's always going to be unknown outcomes. But this is about being completely immersed in the process of the change. And so eventually everything ends. That's the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. And so this is an energy of asking you to surrender to the great descent, which is the fall, the falling energy. And so this really is the passageway into the next life cycle. So we kind of have to descend or go through descension in order to ascend and gain that momentum to embrace all of these deep-seated changes that are kind of happening right now. And so our best response to the fall is to be the observer of your reality, to take a step back and be that observer, especially when you're in the fall, because that really is the only way through this energy. The only way through to the next stage of your evolution is the descension process. And so this is about creating the entrance or walking through the doorway of creating your own personal heaven on earth. And that is what the light workers came here to do at this exact moment in time. And so there's really no new without this great descent, without this great fall. And I did feel the Emperor in reversed. That is a very masculine energy, but we all do harness inner masculine and inner feminine energies. And so without relinquishing who we were, and without, stopping telling the stories of who we were, then we can't truly become who we were meant to be. And so I feel right now there's like an unraveling energy going on within the collective. There's a disillusionment going on. There's a shattering of beliefs. So let's jump in deeper with some more cards, and we're going to jump in with the Gilded Lenormand Tarot. So we are going to look at each of these oracle messages a little bit deeper. We're going to dig in with this Lenormand deck, and then we're going to go a little bit further with the 9-card spread into the Tarot of Dreams deck. So let's get at it, and let's look at this believe energy. Remember, guys, tarot oracle cards, it's all about guidance. It's all about empowerment. I'm not here to tell you what to do. The cards certainly aren't here to tell you what to do. Take this reading, all readings, as an opportunity to step into your power, to be able to create the life that you want. And so believe the strange encounters. It's a 44 card. So there's that 4 of Cups energy coming through again, because you can't go back to yesterday. And so this is like a re-examination, I feel, of a deeply rooted pattern. And if you look here beyond the magnifying glass, you kind of see this energy of a tarot card, if you can see it. And it kind of looks like the Fool. And so there's resistance to a new beginning here. Also, if you look on the card, we've got all of the suits. And so there is a completion of a cycle here that I feel has been resisted when it comes to a deeply rooted pattern. And we had all of these kind of fall out. So I'm going to peek at them, and then I'm going to put them back in the deck, because this is a huge indication of some type of death energy. We get the Ace card, which is speaking of wish fulfillment, the 9 of Cups. We get a 9 of Pentacles energy with Anubis, which is the energy of death. an 8 card representing strength. We get almost like a rebirth energy, the 29 card, or the mature woman, with the 4 of Wands energy. Attached to that is like a King of Swords. And so there is some truth coming to light about a very strange mystical experience or relationship here. And lilies for me always represent rebirth. So there could be unexpected communication coming for sure from the guides. And so owls do represent higher guides, higher consciousness. For me, there's this energy of a shift in perspective about a strange encounter, about some type of mystical, spiritual connection here is really what it's feeling like. And then we get the rebirth energy, which is carrying with it like almost like a Knight of Swords energy to a Knight of Swords to the Queen of Swords. And so somebody has thought long and hard about maybe bringing forward an offer of love, sending somebody a letter. There is this underlying energy of rebirth. And because we've got this Ace of Swords, there's this undeniable truth coming through. And I do feel somebody here is in the throes of needing to accept an ending in order to to go towards creating their own happiness. So very interesting energy coming through here. Let's clarify the manage to be glad, because I feel somebody here might be looking at a mature woman who might be a mystic, and they're examining a situation, wondering if they should come forward with a certain offer. But I feel this mature woman has probably managed to create her own happiness. So what is this external condition going on here that is really stopping somebody from going forward in their life? Look at that. We got the Tree of Life in reversed. There is an old belief pattern here that does need to be upheaved. And this is carrying with it almost like a Seven of Cups in reversed energy. So there's that disillusionment that I felt. And we've got a Ten of Wands. And so there is some type of unhealthy pattern, toxic pattern here that does need to be released. Third party. For sure. The Devil card is coming through. And so this is about unthawing a very cold energy. And so this could be a strange encounter from long ago. There's that Ace of Swords. And so maybe this is a connection from the past that was overlooked. And somebody here is being asked to take a chance and to bring forward some type of love offer. I'm feeling Knight of Cups. And this is connected to a home. We go from the Knight of Cups to the King of Cups. And so there's great love to be had here, but there is this breakdown of the ego and old belief pattern. And I do feel something about leadership coming through here. And so there's a Six of Swords quality coming through. It kind of feels a little bit like a tower. And I do feel somebody can't go back to yesterday without really getting honest about what the block is in the present moment. So what is this energy of not being able to go back? Oh, that one come out with a vengeance. There is an element of nostalgia here, for sure, like a Six of Cups and a Tower. And so this is a reorientation of the path. And then we get the mature man. And so there is a beautiful new beginning in love here. And so if you have been spinning the wheels, going round and round in an old cycle, it's time to mature. It's time to take action. Give me one more card on this mature man. There is a divine masculine here getting a tower and going through some type of karmic judgment is what it feels like. We've got the Garden card in reverse. It's carrying with it an energy of judgment, an Eight of Swords in reversed. And so there is a need to break away from an old pattern in order to walk through the doorway of this new experience. And so bottom of the deck, the path forward is unknown. And so this is all about setting those intentions, making that wish, and creating that balance in your life. And so there's momentum here. There's change. There's a Knight of Wands energy saying, hey, it's time to bring an imbalanced situation back into a state of justice. And this is going to require grounded communication. And so somebody here, I feel, has been swimming with a lot of falsities. I feel a lot of frenemies, and they're on a sinking ship. And so there is a need to burn some type of bridge here. It's like we go from the Eight of Swords reversed to the Nine of Swords. And so there's a deep-seated core wound here that somebody has been maybe falling into to understand in order to bring about some type of change. And so there might be a need to mend a broken bridge from the past. Or maybe it's time to burn the bridge so you stop repeating the same negative pattern. But this is like a harvest energy. This is like spirits coming in and cracking the whip. And so get ready to face some challenges here. It's kind of time to complete this cycle. And I do feel like an Eight of Wands when it comes to accelerated ascension towards this reorientation, towards a divine union, the compass energy. And so there is going to have to be a separation, or maybe it's time to face the separation of the past. I kind of feel a smiling liar here, like a Knight of Cups in reverse. And we've got somebody here that maybe played into narcissistic tendencies. And they're getting a wake-up call. They're in the hedge maze of the mind about what true happiness is and what true loyalty and integrity stands for. Very interesting. Let's go further with the tarot and let's see what this is all about. So very, very interesting energies coming through today. What do we got here for the collective? We got the Seven of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So we got somebody here that's on the defense about some type of huge missed opportunity. That's kind of what it feels like. And so maybe somebody can't go back, but they sure are looking at an encounter from the past that has activated something within them. And I do feel somebody's going to take a risk here. They're going to take their shot. They're going to take a risk, and they're going to bring forward some type of exciting offer, I feel, to this mature woman. So let's get into it. Let's see what needs to come through. We're going to do 9 cards. And let's see what we got today. So keep in mind, this reading is not sign specific. If you would like to go further with a personal reading, then feel free to check out the description box below. But the first card out is the Magician in reversed, the 3 of Coins in reversed, along with the Justice in reversed. And so there is a past injustice that does need to be made right. And so somebody here could have been a master manipulator. Somebody here could have really confused a situation. And I do feel, and now they're really reaping that karma. We get the King of Wands upright. We get the Palace of Swords. And so there is a mature man coming into some truth about a missed opportunity for wish fulfillment with the 9 of Cups. Oh my goodness. The Palace of Coins, unlimited abundance. The 10 of Cups in reversed, and the 7 of Wands. And so this is the Teacher of the Teacher cards. And so there's been blocked communication. I do feel the floodgates are beginning to open here. And so the truth and nothing but the truth is coming to light here. And I do feel there could be a situation of being disillusioned when it comes to what is not your happily ever after. And so the 8 of Wands in reversed, the Palace of Cups in reversed, and we got this Queen of Coins. And so there's that mature woman coming through. And so the Queen of Value. And I do feel there's a message coming towards this Queen of Value, quite possibly from somebody that had abandoned her because there was fear of these deep-seated emotions. And so I feel this Queen has kind of moved on here. So what is this truth that's coming to light? Because this is happening right now. We got the 8 of Coins and the Temperance flying out. So the truth is like, hey, I got to re-examine this missed opportunity. I really got to re-examine, why did I abandon this person? There's that 2 of Pentacles above, the 5 of Pentacles below. And so somebody here is thinking, how do I even come forward? Because I really messed something up here. I missed an opportunity here, and somebody's really going to have to get a hold of their emotions, because they are being disillusioned and they're being shown some type of mystical truth about maybe a mystic healer and about a huge missed opportunity because there was fear maybe of taking action. But I feel the Moon coming out is saying there's a need to face some fears here. There's a need to look at this for what it truly is and to do some deep-seated healing. And so there's that 8 of Swords in reversed. So somebody here is doing a lot of pondering, a lot of thinking, a lot of re-identification of self in order to break free from some type of entrapment or bubble being burst here. And this is a major wake-up call. And so somebody here is on the defense. And I do think it's connected to some type of twin flame union. So what is the 7 of Wands? Because this is about taking immediate action, I feel, and defending maybe a connection that maybe at one point in time they didn't believe in. There is a need to take action. That's interesting. I put the 4 of Wands on the 7 of Swords, and what they showed me was the 3 of Wands, and there it is. And so if you want something, you're going to have to go after it. You're going to have to take that guided action. So I do feel this is about healing. I think somebody has been sleeping on some truth for a long time, sleeping on how much they've regretted maybe breaking somebody's heart or avoiding doing this deep dive because, yeah, there was fear. And I do feel there's a need to go back. Somebody's going back. There's that Emperor in reversed. And so somebody here needs to face the unknown. They're breaking free from an unhealthy, toxic pattern. And they do need to go back. They need to go back and rectify a past misunderstanding that could have led to a family legacy. And so there is a very toxic, deeply rooted belief here connected to materialism and greed. And I do feel somebody made a poor choice in lovers and an apology is long overdue. That's kind of what I feel here. So where are we going with this situation? What is the closing message with this? Let's get a crystal stone deck medicine card. I feel we need some medicine here. And so this is about making big changes and making your big dreams your reality. Ametrine. Somebody is being called to act on their dreams, to refocus, because I do feel the deadline is now. The deadline is now. It's time to speak that truth. It's time to extinguish all of this very stressful energy and go towards your dreams. And so maybe somebody crushed their dreams and put their dreams aside to be a people pleaser. There is this energy of chronic indecision, but I do feel something here is being unearthed. And if you can't decide on something, then you better be willing to jump into the unknown, because I do feel no matter what you choose, everything is always going to be amazing when you choose to make your big dreams your big life. And so this is about acting on your truth, acting on your dreams. Stop staring up at the ceiling every night worrying about the future, because we have the ability to create that future. And I feel something about a family situation here. I feel two very old souls that have gone through a very long dark night, winter energy, dark night of the soul energy, and it's time to convert. It's time to convert this. Something got caught up here. Maybe somebody got all caught up in a very toxic cycle. But the universe is calling somebody to take action, because somebody is so far away from that place of joy, and they're going to have to process this in order to take action. So let's get a closing message with the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck. I do see Taurus. I see Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Gemini, Aries. You could be dealing with any of those. I see Virgo. I do see Pisces. I see Capricorn. So what is the closing message here? What is the closing message when it comes to this energy today that's kind of being unearthed? It's like pure inspiration. It's time to act on that pure inspiration. And as I look up, the timer's at 26, which is all about inspiration, that page of Wands energy. And so truth will set you free. This is about breaking the chains of restriction and going towards what it is that you really want for your life. And so freedom is always a choice. Maybe somebody's been misguided by lies and falsehoods, but the light is shining down on this truth in order for two people to reconnect. And that is kind of what I got for a message for whoever today. So I really hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to go further with me with a personal reading, check it out down below. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.